Hi, I'm Ravi, and this is Ravi's Bucket List. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the power of the fundamentals. Namely, I'm going to be talking about sleep. What brought me into this topic was an interesting case study from a guy I follow online who has managed to completely change himself and transform his life and become an entirely different person. What's interesting about this gentleman's case study is he did actually try a number of different interventions. He tried different diets, different exercise programs, different personal development options, different learning interventions, self-help, psychological healing interventions and whatever else, and really found he was getting nowhere until he began to take sleep very seriously, improving his sleep, getting a really good regular sleep schedule down. His perspective is that this was completely game-changing for him. I then got into some of Shawn Stevenson's stuff. Shawn Stevenson is an entrepreneur in the health space who writes about sleep, who's got some interesting podcasts on the subject matter. I've actually read one of his books on sleep and have listened to a number of his podcasts. He's extremely knowledgeable. And in one of his podcasts, I remember him recanting some research relating to chronic sleep deprivation. And he cited a study which showed that those who are chronically sleep deprived have a markedly reduced level of prefrontal cortex activity. Now, the prefrontal cortex is what governs our executive functioning. It's what supports us in being logical, reasonable, balanced, focused, happy. And those who are chronically sleep deprived see a marked reduction in their prefrontal cortex activity, and these people are more likely to be low in mood, stressed, have difficulty concentrating and focusing, and ultimately difficulty in retaining information, and it leads to them being less effective as people. Further to that, I'm a pretty big fan of the boxer Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is arguably the greatest boxer of all time. He has a perfect 50-0 record and is widely considered to be a person who has mastered the craft of defensive boxing. What he has accomplished in the sport is pretty unbelievable. He has had a remarkably successful career, and I was quite taken aback to hear that Floyd sleeps 9 to 10 hours a night. Now, he is someone who is known for an unparalleled work ethic. His commitment and focus on boxing is something that is legendary, and this gentleman is someone who sleeps 9 to 10 hours a night. That was something that really struck me. And then I'd hear other similar stories. I heard LeBron James sleeps 12 hours a night. And when you think about our culture and how driven we are and how motivated we are and how we're all getting after it and sleeping 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night to get up and get early and go get a workout in, well, it seems that we may have lost sight of some of the really critical fundamentals. And as such, I'm now going to embark on really dialing my sleep in. I've been really bad at sleep for the last 10, 11 years. I get about 5 hours a night. Again, like a lot of people out there, I like to push myself, like to work hard. But then now having to grapple with the fact that it's probably making my brain work less well and is impacting my body's capacity to recover and regenerate, it's now time for me to look very closely at the fundamentals and getting my sleep really dialed in. So I'm going to be taking a lot of action on this front. I'm going to be getting up consistently at the same time, going to bed consistently at the same time. I'm going to be using blue blocking glasses from 8 p.m. onwards to block all blue light to reset my circadian rhythm, and I'm going to be experimenting with red light therapy in the mornings to again support my body in resetting its circadian rhythm. I think now that I'm in my late 20s, I've been able to reflect on a lot of things. I've been able to reflect on a lot of trends and fads and shiny object syndrome that I see in our society, and the desire people have for a quick fix, a magic pill. And I think I've been able to now really go through the gamut of different experiences and different interventions and different practices, and I can now see that where I got results and where I was able to make progress, typically it was where I had a really good grasp on really fundamental basic concepts. I think about when I was competing in powerlifting, which was an interesting part of my life, but I think about how in the community there was an enormous focus on just the basics. There was an enormous focus on multi-joint compound exercises, 3 sets of 5 kind of rep ranges, and just focus and determination and consistency week in, week out, year after year, doing the basics and the fundamentals, being surrounded by good, hard-working training partners, ensuring that you are competing regularly enough, and ensuring your form's dialed in, and just being consistent with everything. And that was how I was able to get more weight put on the bar and make a little bit of progress in the sport. And it's the same kind of lesson I've learned in other aspects of life. Now I'm really moving forward to try and achieve my goals, and have had a very serious call to action. It seems to me that the basic fundamentals are now what really resonate with me, and I'm now going to be taking sleep very, very seriously, and I hope to be able to update you with some positive progress that it will garner. I'm Ravi, this is Ravi's Bucket List, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. All the best.